Alrighty, party peoples of the interwebs, as you can probably tell, I'm at an airport getting ready to fly back to Fort Lauderdale from New Orleans. I visited Bourbon Street and the French Quarters and I saw about as much as I needed to see. Something about hosing down the sidewalks to get rid of the smell of vomit and urine. So they are actually keeping the streets clean is what it says on the truck. And they do this every night? Keep IV waste? I think I've seen enough. It's like Vegas meets New York City meets Sodom and Gomorrah. And I think I saw all of what Bourbon Street has to offer, and that was at 9 o'clock in the morning. Now heading back to Florida, get back to my home, family, and studio. And it's Thursday, as at the time of shooting this vlog, November 6th. And the Supreme Court ruling just came down out of Canada as relates to Universal Ostrich Farm and whether or not the Supreme Court is going to take up the case to potentially overturn the federal court decision, the unanimous Federal Court of Appeal decision, authorizing the CFIA, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, to slaughter we don't know how many ostriches are left, but there were 330 under the custody of the CFIA when they took custody of those birds about 40 plus days ago. Obviously by demeanor, and I'm trying to conceal my seething rage. The Supreme Court, in a one-paragraph ruling, dismissed with costs the Universal Ostrich Farm appeal, which means I'm not trying to be black-pilled or doom-pilled or black-pilling or doom-pilling. There's nothing left to do. This is the highest court of the land in Canada saying we're not hearing the case. It's dismissed the appeal with costs. And now the CFIA can proceed to the slaughter. The with costs, nominal, but just the final kick in the teeth. The final, you're on the ground, let's give one more to the gut before we come in and slaughter your animals. The CFIA has had custody of those animals now for, it's going on 40 days. They've built up the kill pen. They've been corralling these ostriches apparently towards that kill pen in the last few days, because from recent reporting from Drea Humphreys from Rebel News, you couldn't even see the ostriches anymore in the fields. And they're gonna go ahead and slaughter these healthy animals that have been healthy now for 11 months. Because the two that they tested positive for that died were in December 2024. We are now November 2025. And it's the end of the line. The CFIA is hell-bent on slaughtering these animals. They've snubbed multiple offers from Donald Trump's White House. They've pursued this all the way to the Supreme Court in refusing to come to some form of compromise. Even Elizabeth May came out and said, I don't understand why you can't test these animals. They're going to slaughter 330 to the extent that those are the amount that are remaining alive without having tested them.
Curious what your take is on the ostrich situation at Universal Ostrich Farms. What's your party's position on that?
Well, I wrote the Minister of Health in so long ago now, a very different Minister of Health. It was January 2025 that I wrote to say, look, can't we get the Canadian Food Inspection Agency to redo the tests? That will remove a lot of the either anxiety, divisions. One wants to know why not redo the tests. It's not that difficult to redo the tests. But CFIA is refusing. I must say most of my constituents who write me want that ostrich cull not to happen. And I can't imagine, this is absolutely astonishing to me, that an animal welfare issue in Canada has garnered the attention of MAGA-type billionaires in the United States, which makes me sympathize with the ostriches less. But that doesn't matter. What matters is we get our facts first.
You're a bitch.
Because it's the stamping out policy under the WHOA. They actually called it the WHO, the World Health Organization of Animals or something like that. No, it's WHO, World Organization of Animal Health, WHO. The stamping out policy means killing any bird that came in contact with a bird that tested positive, even if they're not sick, haven't been tested positive. And they got the go-ahead from the Supreme Court. And you want to talk about how people are radicalized. This is how people get radicalized. And I'm reluctant to even make this observation because it's not a dog whistle, it's not a fear hiding a wish. It's just a fear. It's just understanding human nature. This is how people get radicalized. This is how good people are pushed to the limits, bankrupted, demoralized, and this is exactly what they want almost by design. Come in, exercise full government control over private property, abuse of the judicial system, abuse of the administrative bodies that are so common in Canada. Get the RCMG, the Royal Canadian Mounted Gestapo, because that's their new name, in there to oversee the abuse, to, with their armed guns, their bulletproof vests, to ratify the abuse. You have full government control, full state control, usurping, expropriating, and now killing private property for no good reason. And this is how people get radicalized. And it would be a good misfortune for the government if someone did get radicalized to do something stupid. Because then the government gets to say, look at these savages. They don't understand this is all for their own good, and they lash out with violence. Now we get to exercise more emergency controls. Now we get to come down even harder. Surveillance, police state, thought crime. That's what's going on. So the Supreme Court just ratified the slaughter. There's nothing left to do other than hope for some form of a miracle. Maybe the CFIA agents find their soul. Maybe the RCMP finds their soul. They won't. It's been 40 days of them doubling down, tripling down, day after day. So they're going to do this. And then they're going to do it, what, under the dead of night? Cloak of darkness? They broadcast it to the world. Show us how you're going to slaughter 300 plus healthy ostriches. You're going to dart gun them? Shotgun? Sniper? They might have snipers. They've been apparently building elevated positions from which they're going to snipe down these birds one by one. The government's got sniper guns, suppressor thingy things, so they don't scare the other birds. Broadcast it. Be proud of yourselves. Paul McKinnon, president of the CFIA. Show your face. Kill one yourself. Come down with your gun. Kill one of the birds. You're not a CFIA agent to tell you've actually killed an innocent animal. And that's it. Trying not to be black-pilled, trying not to be doom-pilled. But it's very tough in this day and age. And too many Canadians sitting there propagandized by the CBC media, which was gleefully reporting on someone died at the protest at the Edgewood Universal Ostrich Farm. Someone died. They had a medical emergency. Someone died of a medical emergency. The CBC runs with it as though something nefarious happened. If you go read the body of the article, you find out it was a medical emergency. Headline, someone dies at the protest at Edgewood Farm. And the Canadians, too many Canadians, are absolutely okay with this because they're propagandized, they have no idea what is actually going on, and they want a little bit more govern me harder daddy because it makes them feel safe, it makes them feel righteous. A bunch of citizens who think what makes you a good citizen is listening to the government and doing what the government tells you. A bunch of citizens who think what makes you a good citizen is for the greater good. Tyrannizing and brutalizing farm owners, private property owners, God-loving Canadians. And they think they're the good ones in this story because they've been brainwashed and propagandized into it. Oddly enough, the speech I gave at the New Orleans Investment Conference was about propaganda and how the government does the same thing over and over and over again. Crisis. Experts come in, tell you what needs to be done. Media comes in, reports what the experts say need to be done. Repeat, brainwash, cycle complete. Here you've got a crisis. The birds have the avian flu, except they haven't been tested. They've been healthy for a year. Crisis. Experts come in. We got to stamp it out. The woe policy says we've got to do it. A globalist organization seeping its tentacles into infiltrated Canada. Experts say we've got to kill them. Media reports. It's for the greater good. Report, repeat, crisis, experts, media reports, media repeats, manufactured consent for too many Canadians out there. So that's it. I came to the airport way too early because I had seen enough of Bourbon Street, and not that I'm in the best of moods this morning. Bourbon Street, French Quarters, beautiful buildings, beautiful music, the food is delicious, the homelessness is out of control, mental illness running rampant on the streets, and I'm not much in there just to go waste some money on some cheap made-in-China trinkets at the souvenir shop. So I'm gonna go shoot this video, edit, publish, and try to raise awareness and hope for last Hail Mary miracle. But from what I understand, and I've asked on the inside, there's nothing to be done at this point. It's over. They're gonna go in and kill those birds. The only thing to do right now, put that on blast. Let the world see what the hell is going on in that hellscape of Canada. That's it. Viva Fry. If you like what I do, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. Looking at the planes out here. It's beautiful. Airports are nice, but I'm gonna go find a cup of coffee and whatever. Sulk. All right. Peace out, peace.